Hey guys, what is going on? Joseph Fulmer here, and tonight we're back in the garage, back to working on the Valkyrie, and I was just going to kind of skip past this part, but as big of a pain in the butt as it is, I figured if I could find an easy way to do this, then I'd share it with you guys. So, thanks to some advice from Valkyrie Riders Crusiers Club's Shop Talk Forum, I have a basically written set of instructions for this that I'm going to try and put in video for you guys, and here's what I'm talking about. Alright, if you've ever pulled an airbox off a Honda Valkyrie, I swear it was engineered by the devil himself. Okay, getting it off is a pain. Getting it back on, oh my heavens. Now, it's like, put it bluntly, it's like trying to wrestle Snuffleupagus and his 5 friends. Now, do me a favor, if you're enjoying the video already, please make sure you've hit the subscribe button down here at the bottom of the screen. If you already have, make sure you hit that notification bell. And do me a favor to rate it when it's all over with. And if you have any questions, as always, throw them in the comments, guys. So, if you've ever done this before, you know how big of a pain this is. If you haven't, and you're getting ready to, you're in for it, because it's not easy. I don't care any which way you do it. Now, first thing you're going to have to do, which I've already done to save some time, is in order to win this wrestling match, you're going to have to hog tie the bastard. That's the only way you're going to get away with this. Now, I used some binder's twine because I had it handy. Regular string would be better because it's not nearly as fuzzy, and hopefully these fuzzies are not going to cause me a problem later on down the line. But if you bend all the little tubes to the center and you run a string around them, if you tie it around one, and I would start in the rear where it's easiest to access with a knife to cut it off. And my phone will quit going nuts. Then I just went and zigzagged around each and every one of them to pull them together and made an extra wrap around the outside and tied my ends together. That way it'd be easy. I could make one cut here and one cut here and get the whole string out of there without too much hassle. Now, second thing I did, just to make it simple, this is a 99, these are 21 years old, the rubber's dry, put a little bit of oil around the inside just to help them slide on a little bit, make it a little bit more, less complicated. Now, if you notice here, that's the plug for the desmog kit. This is going to be your crank vent tube, which is over here on this side. This one is going to be the drain tube for the airbox, which is right here. And then you need to make sure these two throttle cables stay off to the side. The front, these come up the side of the airbox. You don't want to get them trapped. The first time I tried to put this in, I ended up with one leg of the airbox through here, and oh, that made it even more of a nightmare. I've removed the plastic trim panels that were in here just to give a little bit better view if we need it. But the other things you're going to need: small block of wood and a ratchet strap, and I'll show you why here in a minute, so stay tuned. Now, once you've got some string, small block of wood, a ratchet strap, hog tie the little bugger, and then set it back here, and hopefully, keyword hopefully, oh, and I also took all of my clamps off, because there's nothing like getting it halfway in, having one of the clamps drop down into the center of the engine. And if you're lucky, you can fish it out with a magnet. If not, you got to pull the airbox back out to get to the clamp. So it's actually fairly easy before you get the airbox all the way down on the carburetors to slide the clamps in between, which I'll show you here in just a second. So now we should be able to somewhat, with him hog tied, drop him most of the way in. Let me make sure we're there. Okay. That's as far as I'm going to be able to get it to go down while it's still tied up. I'll show you what I mean. So on this side, we've got our main fuel feed line right there that our one tube is hitting. So we're going to have to untie you untie it because of that. And over here, we are, up in the front, we're bound up on that center plastic piece. So, I'm going to try and set you guys up where you can, for demonstration purposes, where you get a better view of this. And I'm just going to take my knife, very carefully reach right in here, cut the strings, and then I should be able to, it's got my finger. Okay, there we go. I'm telling you. Oh, I flipped it over. Okay, I'll have to cut it off the leg on the other side. Not a big deal. We'll go around there and we'll cut it and pull it out. Or did I get it cut all the way off? I don't know. Okay, there's one chunk. There we go. There's our other chunk. Just that simple. Hopefully you can see that all right. Now, make sure your clamps, your screws are pointing the correct direction. That'll make life easier down the road, and hopefully I'm not so close that everything's going to be blurry. But if you just gently push up on the tubes ever so slightly, you can weasel the clamps in. And get them right there, right up on the leg, just like that. That's all you need to do. Now we've got that on. The next thing we want to do to make life easy, this is going to be very difficult to show you guys. I'm going to do the best I can. But right down in here is where your crank vent tube comes up. And we need to get in there and get it attached, because it will, if it's not attached, it will shove the air box back up and it will give you 9,000 kinds of fits trying to get it on. But if you can get in there with a long pair of needle nose, the tube is stiff enough once you get it lined up. Oh shoot, lost the clamp. Grab the clamp with the, sorry, I know I'm beating on the camera and it's shaking everywhere. Grab the clamp with the needle nose, kind of push down on the air box. May have to get over any other, may have to get in there and kind of pull up on that line too. It can be a pain. There we go. If I can show you from this side over here, you can see it all the way on that far side, right there in the light. It is 99.9% of the way up on there. And then I'll deal with this one once we get everything else done. So, now that we're this far, the next thing we're going to do, just try and push down and line these up the best you can. And maybe if you get lucky, it'll cooperate and drop on there, but I really highly doubt it. Considering as much as I've fought with this one in the last 2 days. You may also need a pick in order to get up underneath some of these boots and roll the edges out where they need to be. If they get jammed up inside the top of the carburetor, that does help. Now, a little bit of oil on them. Those three actually slid down absolutely 100% perfect. I'm amazed. I'll show you this. There. They're bottomed out. They cannot go on any farther. I can tighten those clamps up. Now this clamp did get rolled around, so hopefully I can get him back. Let's get that one back up here. Now, you want to make sure you keep your clamp away from your throttle cable and your fuel line. You wouldn't want it chafing through your fuel line or getting caught in your throttle cable for any reason. So we'll get them up here, maybe at a slight angle if we need to, so we get on with the screwdrivers. Let's check out the other side, see how it's doing. Just so you know, that is the pick I'm using. Okay, let's see if this side will be any more cooperative than the other side, or than it was earlier. This is where I'm running into problems because I'm sliding them on and they're wanting to come right back up and off. So, get around there with the pick. Make sure that it's all the way over the carburetor flange. Which this one here is not. Yeah, you really can't see where it's folded up there. I can see it, but I can't get it on camera. But right here in the back, it is folded up, and it's not dropping down over the flange on that carburetor. I'm going to show you guys the issue we're running into as best I can. If you look right through there, I don't know how well it's going to stand out, but right up underneath the clamp, let me see if I can slide that clamp back up. If I clamp it on, it's going to come right back off, which is not what we don't want. Come on, just stay up there for a second. Well, you can't really see it because now the stupid ass. Okay, there we go. Okay, right there on the back side, hopefully, right there on the back side, you can see how that boot's rolled underneath. The far one's rolled under as well. So I'm going to have to get in there and get that boot loose. So I'm going to do that here and just give me a second. I'm going to do that and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. And I've managed to get all of these boots all the way back down, actually very easily. Once get a little bit of oil in them, and I did have to grab my 90-degree pick to get around this back one back here. It was a little more difficult to get in there, and I couldn't really get in there with the curled pick. Now you want to be careful that you don't put the tip of your pick through your boot or tear your boot trying to do that. But now that we've got them all on, It's just a matter of going through with our Phillips, tightening all our clamps down. So those three are tight. Alright guys, that's all there is to it. One last thing we need to do, grab our bolt for the back of our airbox and get the hole lined up. In she goes. 10 millimeter. Okay, that's done. And then it's just a matter of weaseling our drain line back up onto the bottom of the airbox. There we go. Got her on there. Alright guys, I hope that helped you out. That's what it takes to get an airbox back on Honda Valkyrie. Now, the board and the ratchet strap that are down here, if it's really being stubborn, you can set the board up on top, run the ratchet strap over the bike. You can either catch your engine guards. If you have your engine guards on, I've got mine off at the moment. They're going to go back on here shortly. But you can either catch your engine guards or the frame underneath the bike. You want something good and sturdy, and use a ratchet strap to help push that down. It's like an extra set of hands. I didn't need to once I oiled up the boots, but in the Valkyrie Shop Talk forum, they do talk about using the ratchet strap to help push down on that to get those to seat on there. But once I oiled them up, went through with the pick, they dropped right on. So, if you guys are having trouble getting an airbox back on a Honda Valkyrie, hope this video helps you out. If it does, please give me the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, guys. Share this with your friends. You never know, especially if they own a Valkyrie or thinking about getting one, this might help them out. And as always, keep your eyes on the channel because we are getting ready to put the rest of the bike back together. And if you haven't seen any of the other videos on the destruction that occurred in the final drive on the rear end, replacing the wheel bearings, replacing the swing arm bearings, doing the red eye shiny desmog kit, and we're going to also be doing some other videos here in the near future on this bike. But for tonight, I'm going to try and get the rest of the bike put back together, and there will be a video on that as well. So stay tuned to the channel if this is something that interests you. And like I said, please share this with your friends. Don't be afraid to get out there and get your hands dirty, guys. You might have a little fun doing it. We will see you on the next one.